Welcome back to the Gruesome Garage. Today, we're going to answer some questions that we get a lot about what exactly we have done to the Cherokee here, motor-wise, exactly what the turbo is and everything. So, the internals of the motor, basically all stock. The bottom end is completely stock, 200 plus thousand miles on it. We put head studs in when we put the cam in, ARP head studs. It has a Lunati custom grind cam for a turbo. We called them, originally I was going to order the stage 1 Voodoo for a 4.0, but they make them for high compression applications, and we called them and talked to them, and they said it really wasn't a good idea to run with a turbo. It doesn't have the right lift and duration where we need it. So we got them to cut us up a nice custom cam, and ever since we put that in, we've been having fuel problems. But we've got the camshaft, we have ARP head studs, we have a Victorines multi-layer steel head gasket, so hopefully we can push a little more than 10 pounds of boost. As far as intercooler piping, this is a JDM eBay special intercooler. It's like 8 inches by 24, 2.5 inch outlet on each side, 2.5 inch eBay special, gotta be gold. So when we talked to Lunati about the camshaft, they told us it'd be a good idea to put a little stiffer valve spring in. So we looked over at our good buddies Hesco, and they make a valve spring that is for high performance, a little stiffer, But the problem is you have to get your head machined because the valve spring diameter is larger. They just got to take a little material out. So we brought it to our main man over in Fair Lawn. Best guy around to shave your heads, bore them out, whatever you need done. And he got them in there for us nice. And put new lifters in also. When we did it, just comp cam factory style lifters. And other than that, the motor is bone stock.
Now that we get to the turbo, of course, nothing else belongs on a Cherokee other than an eBay special. And not only is it special, but it is an EMUSA. Apparently, that's one of the only companies to get on eBay. It works great. We've seen a couple thousand miles, at least 20, and it still spins great. Shaft play is absolutely great. There's no scraping. And honestly, this turbo has done us pretty well.
It's had a little shaft play since day one, but for the most part, it hasn't gotten any worse. So
yeah, if you can see, I don't know if you can see.
Probably can't even see it. No.
Just a little bit. So it's a T04E turbo off of eBay. Like I said, EMUSA. The outside is AR 0.50 and the exhaust housing is 0.63 AR. I can't find the millimeter sizes because I don't know. It's eBay. I bet you guys can find it, but I couldn't find it. So now we get to the wastegate. It is, first we had a 38 millimeter wastegate on and we didn't think it was large enough. It didn't seem to bleed enough boost off. So we put a 45 millimeter wastegate on it and it seems to work absolutely great. We just need to plumb it up because it gets a little dirty down there. Moving from there, a lot of you guys want to know about the blow-off valve. What do we use? It's another eBay special. It's called a Type RS blow-off valve, and we got it as a kit with this piece of pipe and the gasket, so it just bolts right on and it's plumbed in. Just hooks right up to our feed. There's nothing special. We don't have any boost control or anything right now. Maybe in the future, but as of now, we have nothing. But it is hooked into our fuel pressure regulator. All you guys running boost, you know that you need bigger injectors. So we got 24-pound injectors in here. We screwed around with a bunch of different sizes. I'm pretty sure these are 24 now. We think they're too small, but it's not working out right since we put the cam in. It just puts way too much fuel in at idle. So the most important thing about this fuel pressure regulator is that it runs off of boost. And what it does is at stock idle, at idle and everything, no pressure, it's giving the rail stock PSI, stock fuel pressure. But as soon as you you know, give it boost, it starts cutting and freaking out because there's not enough pressure to the rail. So what we did was we put a E2000 fuel pump in line with the stock fuel pump to bring up the fuel pressure to about 100 PSI. We regulated it down to 35, 40 PSI at idle. And then when boost kicks in, it brings it up to when it needs it. Now, the big key factor to this, you know, what we were doing is tricking the stock system, the stock computer. The big key factor to this is this beautiful gold piece right here. It's from 505performance.com, and what that is a map sensor bypass. It goes in line with your map sensor instead of it being hooked up to the throttle body, and it does not allow positive pressure into the map sensor. Stock Cherokees, map sensors, all that cannot handle positive pressure. They freak out and it causes the injectors to cut out, it'll cause the spark to cut out, whatever.
So the main question that I usually get on Instagram, Facebook, whatever, anytime I post my Jeep is, how do you run the exhaust manifold? And that seems to be a big deal for everybody. So the first thing we did to make room for the turbo was get rid of the air conditioner. You know, this is an old Jeep. I'm sure the AC probably hasn't worked for the past 10 years. Didn't work when I got it, so rip it out. You don't need it, you know. So that gave us a little more room over here. Got rid of all the lines that are in the way here. A lot of people put their turbos on the intake side. I'm not a big fan. It gets pretty hot over there with the intake and the exhaust manifold on top of each other. Do what you want. Boost works. I don't know if they make it now, or there's rumors of them coming out with a new cast version of their turbo manifold. It's supposed to be cheaper. So if that does come out and that's the way you guys want to do it, there you go. But if anybody wants to put it on the other side, to me, the easiest way is this. You keep your factory exhaust manifold. Don't mess with it. There's nothing wrong with it. And it comes down right here. If you can see it. And this is in the same position as the factory manifold, except for I cut it up here, put a V-band on and increased the diameter to 2.5 instead of 2 1/4. Put an O2 sensor in. This is basically where it goes factory. Comes down in 90s this way, and it usually 90s back to your cat, muffler, exhaust, whatever. So what I did was take that 90 that goes this way, clock it, and send it right up. Now the biggest problem is you're gonna have your lower control arm mounts and all this. There's another mount up here. You could still see a piece of it. We decided to leave it in there. You know, some stuff in the way. But with a nice hammer and a little bit of time, you can sneak that pipe up there, no problem.
Now let me make this clear, guys. Everything worked great. All this rigging that we did to trick the computer worked absolutely great until we put in the camshaft. Then the computer hated its life because the camshaft I think it's just that one step too far. So that's why we're going to the Mega Squirt. But before that, we took this thing everywhere. You could drive it down the shore, 1.5 hours. We took it all the way down to Wildwood and back, 3-4 hours. It drove straight down the highway, no problem. Ran great, idled great, shut off great, no heat soak, nothing really, no problems. It ran a little rich, but rich is better than too lean when you have a turbo, right? It probably didn't have the perfect amount of horsepower that, you know, you're supposed to have with 8-10 pounds of boost, but it honestly ran great, like I said, until the cam.
So I know there's no progress in this video from the last one, but I hope this answers most of your questions. If anybody has any questions, feel free to comment. We will answer them the best we can. And hopefully we'll get the video out soon of us starting to put the Mega Squirt on. We just got a little project we got to finish up over here, and I think it's too boring to make videos about. It's pretty basic, just sand, clean, paint.
We're restoring our car trailer.
If you guys do want to see videos about it, we'll make them, but let us know. Thanks for watching.